Locally Owned Murfreesboro, the podcast. The people and the stories behind what makes Murfreesboro matter.
Where we get to know the people you need to know in and around the borough. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Locally Owned Murfreesboro, the podcast. The most original podcast name in the world. So we're excited to be back for another episode. We get to get a really good picture of our guest today.
Wow. That's awesome.
We have special guest, Amanda Barrett. She's a photographer. Now you get my joke. So we, as we say in our fun little intro, in and around the borough, and Amanda is based out of Smyrna. Bulldog for life. Whoop, whoop. That's for Kinsey.
Did you go to Smyrna High School?
I did not.
Oh.
Did you?
I'm a transplant.
Oh,
okay.
We're going to find that out. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was about to ask. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's get into it.
Yeah. So how did you get to Smyrna?
So I first came to Murfreesboro in 2007 to go to MTSU.
Ah.
And when I graduated, I got a job in Smyrna and ended up moving there. And then I met my husband. So I'm just here, stuck here. It's no, in a good way.
And where are you originally from? Like
East Tennessee.
Okay.
So I'm a Tennessee native. I moved over a bit.
What part of East Tennessee?
Just before Knoxville. So Roane County, Kingston.
Kingston?
A little town.
I married a Kingston boy.
You did?
Yes, Roane County High School.
Yep, that's right.
Still has a couple
Cool.
records up there in baseball. So.
Ooh.
You know the I just forgot the name of the little city park, the little baseball park there on the river. That's where I got engaged.
Aw.
Yeah, drove through town. My family lives on Cedar Bluff off the road.
Okay.
Yeah. Look at that.
Wow.
Small. The world is even smaller.
Yeah.
So you came to go to school, met a boy.
Mhm.
What's your boy's name?
Jason.
Jason. Good job.
Yeah.
Way to snag her.
He's pretty great.
Aw. What does Jason do?
He is an account manager for Industrial Adhesive Company.
Oh, wow.
Very specific.
Yeah. An account manager. So he
Yeah.
he likes to talk to people.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
yeah. Mhm.
Very cool. Very cool.
So have you always been into photography?
Yeah. So I remember I was always the kid with a camera. That's always what I wanted.
That's
I always
awesome.
wanted the next newest thing. And I remember when I got my first digital camera and I could see the pictures immediately. It was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Mhm.
And then I kind of got away from it once I got my big girl job, and I didn't really do a lot with it. And then for my 30th birthday, a friend of mine did a photo shoot for me to just celebrate. And I
Aw.
was like, I remember how much I love this and I want to do it for other people. So that's when I started digging into the real technical side, because I always took pictures, but I wasn't a photographer, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, the settings.
I
Yes.
feel like I have an eye. Like that's a great shot, but I'll just take a picture when it could be 5 times better with the f-stop and the
Mhm,
aperture and the
mhm. I
all the
love
big-
the lingo.
all the big.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all the things I don't know.
Mhm.
People are
Yeah.
like, "What's the aperture?" I'm like, "Oh,
It's that
you tell
little-
me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have it on auto,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
so it takes a lot of learning.
It does. There's
Yeah.
a lot that goes into it. And I think that's part of what I love about it, is that there's, to me, like equal parts the actual science and technical side of it, and then the art side of it, the creative side of it.
Mhm.
And my job, actually, I was formulation chemist, and then I
Whoa.
did that for a while, and then I moved into product development engineering, and it was a weird path that got me to where I am, but I loved all of
So
it.
you studied chemistry in school?
Yes,
Where's the nerd
I-
alert button? Nerd alert! Nerd alert! I
Yeah.
love it.
So I feel like this is the perfect thing for me, because
So you
I
have that artistic, creative side too,
Mhm.
as well. Oh wow, you're like a unicorn. Most people can one or the other.
Yeah.
That's
Left brain, right brain.
That's pretty
Like-
cool. I think that makes you specifically qualified.
Yeah, thanks.
That's
Mhm.
pretty cool.
But I think just from general knowledge, like most people don't know that there is a science behind it.
Yeah.
They think that, oh, you're just picking up a camera and pressing the button, and it's way more than that. I mean, I've tried my hand at photography. I've always had, but like I cannot do the science stuff. I'm just like, or like I get criticized for my art because I'm like, that's
because it's art.
my art.
And
Like-
there is that balance there, I think. But I think that's why I love it, because there are things that are technically right.
Yeah.
And then there's this is open to interpretation, and I can do what I think would be beautiful. And I like that there's both aspects.
Fair. That's very fair. Yeah. So I know as of late, especially through COVID, a lot of people are like, well, I have a camera. I'm a photographer. No, you have a camera. So if you have a hobby that you love to take pictures, I'm not dismissing that at all. But when you put it into a business where you are asking other people to pay you, they're paying for your expertise and your knowledge and your experience and your chemistry background, like all the things. And I think people forget that they just, because I see a lot of stuff on Facebook, I think we all do, where it's like, who can do family pictures that's affordable? Well, that's a tough word, because
what's affordable? Well, and affordable is subjective to people.
Absolutely.
True.
It is
Like,
absolutely
free or money.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot of people suggest, when someone says that, I've seen a lot of people suggest it would be more helpful if you listed what your budget is.
Sure.
Versus saying affordable. And a lot of people take offense to that too, the word affordable. I feel like, I don't know, that it is a tough topic, because I do think in a way there's room for everybody.
Yeah.
But you also, for me, I have a business license, I have an LLC, I have insurance, I have all these things
overhead,
that I have to pay for, whether you book with me or not.
Yeah.
And so I have to cover that in what I charge.
Right.
And I'm a firm believer that you get what you pay for. So if you want to pay low rates, don't expect masterpieces. And if you're going to pay a big rate, expect a masterpiece.
Sure.
I mean, it's just the way it is. We had another photographer on, and I'm sure her take on, and her eye and her final piece looks like is different than yours. And that's why it's important to interview your photographers, especially for big days and big things and stuff like that, to interview them and communicate with what you really, really want. So
yeah. And that's actually, I do a consultation with all of my clients, and that's where we plan out all that and make sure that we're a good fit for each other, because I think it's important, especially I focus on motherhood photography. So if I'm going to be holding your baby, I think you need to have a relationship starting to build with me before I expect you to hand it your most prized possession.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, and that's another thing with specifically newborn photography. There's a lot of safety in that. It's safety concerns in that, with some of the posing that happens and keeping them warm and all of that. And this is your brand new little baby, so you want to make sure you're taking them somewhere that they're thinking about that safety of your
so I was gonna ask her specialty, and now I'm like, whoa. Like, I have so much reverence for you that, like, I've seen all the, what do they call it, Pinterest fails, where it's like, I want to do that, and then the baby's like,
oh yeah.
So gosh, that's your specialty.
Yeah. And I love it.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, that is, wow, that's cool. Very cool. So in talking about your business, what do you consider to be your biggest struggle, like as a business owner?
I think marketing.
Yeah.
Marketing is not my strongest point. And I think I'm getting better at it, just because I've recognized that it's necessary. Yes, 100%. But also, I don't try to fit the Instagram algorithm. I'm just me. Because when you come to meet me and have a consultation, or you book with me, it's me that you're getting. So I feel I just have to be real about who I am, and hopefully that reaches the right people.
There you go.
Well, it will.
I did a class once that was like your Instagram 9, and my head was just like, woo. So yeah, kudos to you, because so many times we try so hard to fit into a box when we're not meant to be in that box. So kudos to you for that. That's big. And I think a lot of small business owners would say marketing is tough.
It's interesting you say marketing, because you have a tool, your camera, to use for marketing, but it's probably way different because you're like, I'm not photographing for my service, right? I'm photographing for me, or like, what do I talk about?
Yeah.
Or post about.
That's the thing that's hard, I think, because with there being so many photographers, it's not just about pretty pictures. A lot of people can do that. It's about who I am and who you're going to be handing your babies to.
Right.
And so I do newborn and a lot up to like 2 years, and then family as well. And so a lot of my work is the little ones. And so I would want to know more about the person than just seeing some pictures they've taken if I'm trusting my baby with you.
Right. And then you have to have the balance, because people are going to want the outcome that you do and showcase that, but also.
You know what people have really liked is the behind the scenes where I show the shot that I get after.
Oh,
this.
yes.
So
I love that.
People love it. I get a lot of feedback for that, and I'm like, oh, that's exciting. It's just hard to remember to do behind the scenes. I'm just me. It's just me there.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
you and your squad of you.
I've had people come in before specifically to take some behind the scenes for me, and that's been nice, but I don't always remember.
Right. Yeah, I can imagine like young children running wild, and then it's like, like that's exciting. Like, I love this is what it took to get the shot, and then this is the shot. That's one of my favorite things to watch. So even if you just set up like a camera or something and just do like a time lapse of madness.
Because that would be great, Tom. I'm just like running circles. It's like, but look at this beautiful picture you still get.
Well, and I know a lot of parents in public in general, everywhere, like they're so worried about their kids behaving and such. And a lot of the times it's bothersome to the parents more than it is to anyone else.
100%.
So just to see, like, I feel like a lot of people might get better family pictures taken if they were like, oh, my kids are insane too. Perfect. That would work.
Yeah. And I've actually, so that kind of brings up a little bit of a topic of something I've had a client say before. And that was, the baby was around 4 months old. And so you can't say, smile at the camera to a 4-month-old.
Right.
And you can't say, sit still in this basket, that doesn't work.
Right.
And I remember after she got the photos back, she said, you can tell that you really just care about the babies and you care about us, and it's not just the picture for you. And that meant so much to me, because that's true. I want you to have genuine pictures of the people that you love, and that means letting them be who they are. And if they're wiggly, great. I can be fast. And, I'm a baby chaser. That's what I do.
And that's the expertise that you're paying for, being a professional baby chaser.
Professional baby chaser. I love it. New tagline.
New title, right?
Oh my gosh. Put that on the business card. Yeah. I remember when mine were little, it was like we did a set of with a friend, and she had this scrunchie on her thing that looked like Elmo, and that worked for like 2 minutes.
You have
the kids were like, what's next?
Yeah, exactly. You have to have all the tricks, but what's funny is those things work for the dads too when they're grumpy.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can only imagine.
I mean, I do not want to be here. Why am I doing this?
Honestly, I don't have a lot of that. But it's funny because I'm like, all right, Dad. And I've got a little squeaky toy.
Oh my gosh.
It brings out.
Look at the football, Dad. Look at the football. You get to watch football later. Look at the football. Oh my gosh. My husband would die. Yeah. I mean, for me, like when my kids were little, like when my daughter was smallest, I just kept telling my son, just look at the camera and smile. And so half the time he's like,
oh, I know. Well, and that's the thing too. As moms, we want the genuine smiles. We want the smiles that we get to see every day. And you're not going to get that by saying, look here and smile.
Yeah.
And I know that because I'm a mom. And so I have some tricks up my sleeve to get them giggling.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that I tell the parents, and this is a good tip, whether you book with me or not, let the photographer focus on your kids, because if they finally smile, but you're looking at them saying, smile.
Right.
Now you're the problem.
Your face is like,
and then here's your squeaky toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's shout out to producer Trent and Mitch Hedberg. It's one of my favorite things. He's like, my sister has a family photo where they're all looking at something slightly to the left, like something really exciting happened over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the natural, not the Olin Mills, like everybody get in line and match turtlenecks, and it's so funny. Although those are probably really fun now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So we talk about struggles and obviously some tips. What is one of your biggest wins as a business owner?
This one is hard. I think recognizing that it's about relationships.
Sure.
That and like in and out of the business, and with clients and with other business owners. And I think that has been my biggest win and just filled my heart the most.
Yeah,
so.
Sure. I particularly, we have a person who's taken our pictures for as long as I can remember. And every time I'm like, this is the best one yet. This is the best one yet. And she's like, oh, we're just going to keep going for that. Right. So building that relationship and sticking with the family. And I mean, who knows, down the road, you could be taking some baby's baby.
Right.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah.
And the other thing about that is I work with a lot of new moms, and I have been there, and I want to be more than just somebody on the other side of a camera who you don't really know.
Yeah.
For reasons of, one, I've mentioned, I'm going to be holding your baby. That's a big deal. And two, I know that that's a tough time. As beautiful and amazing and wonderful as it is, it can also be really hard. And I just want to be a resource for new moms who, if you are struggling with something that I have either been through or I know somebody who can help you, I want to be.
That's awesome.
And I can't expect them to be comfortable to tell me anything if we book online and never speak.
Dollars.
Yeah, it's just not. That's just not me. That's not what I want.
You're not transactional
No,
here.
Not at all.
So do you have a studio in Smyrna? Do you have a favorite outdoor place to take photos? Do you have like a go-to?
I have a couple.
You don't have to share because I'm sure it's special. Sorry. And then
no, that's okay. That's okay.
I didn't think about that it might be like secret.
Some people are like that. I don't really mind. But it is kind of weird, and you wouldn't expect it. But there's a really rustic, like fieldy vibe behind one of the schools in Smyrna, and it's so pretty if you want that like rustic barn, but still field. It's not.
Is it Smyrna Elementary?
Yeah.
I knew it. I love that place.
It's so pretty back there. You want, and a lot of people, you wouldn't expect it when you just go back there and you're like, you would take pictures behind an elementary school.
Yeah. I mean, my kiddo had seen your pictures with dumpsters in the background, and I was like, how in the world is this going to work? And then I'm like, whoa, that's awesome. So artsy. So it's very cool. That's good. And it takes a special eye. Like even at a train yard, I was like, what in the world?
I know. My husband will tell me like, oh, I've seen this really pretty place, and I'll go check. And I'm like, it is beautiful, but there's a difference in what you see with your eyes and what the camera sees it as. And it's not always what you expect.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah. So cool.
That's fun.
Yeah. So, we like to ask, what is one thing that you wish the public knew about your business?
On the spot.
Yeah, I know. I should have known. That I think just that I care about the community, and I care about people, and I want whether you book with me or not, I want you to have beautiful photos of the people that you love, and I think that that's important, and I want you to prioritize that and do what's within your means to do it. And I would love to just be, like I said, a resource for especially new moms. I feel like that's a season of life that I'm still kind of in. My daughter's 3, almost 3.5.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
Wow. You blinked. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah. I think that really came through, that I think people listening would know that you genuinely care and you want the best for whomever, whether it's with you or whatever. That's great. And I love that you do consultations, because a lot of people will just talk on the phone and, so on and so forth. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, I think now is a good time to stop and hear a word from our sponsor. Cultivate Co-working is a welcoming community offering an alternative office space for independent workers, freelancers, nonprofits, and small business owners. Our goal is to help small business owners and independent workers grow their business and create a useful, lively network of like-minded professionals in the Murfreesboro area. Visit cultivatecoworking.com for more information.
Oh. We're back.
We're back. That's right. I was getting my Cultivate Co-working this or that questions ready.
You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you can get with this, because this is where it's at.
Rapid fire.
Yeah.
This or that.
This is where it's at, for sure.
Thank you, Black Sheep. The choice is yours.
That's right.
All right, so I'll go first. Talking pets or talking babies?
Ooh, talking pets.
Ooh, okay. All right. I got art museum or history museum.
Art museum.
Okay.
Passenger or driver?
Passenger.
And then the last question I had for you, which we may have already answered, but photograph a wedding or a newborn?
Newborn.
Woo!
All the way.
And it's funny is that half of the photographers in our audience are like, no. That's so funny. That's so funny.
Yeah, we've had both, right? We haven't had a newborn photographer yet.
Yeah, we have not. We've only had 2, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think the other one would run from babies. Just kidding. She wouldn't run from babies.
But it's good to know the specialties. I think it's tough to convey that when you first meet someone, like, oh, I'm a photographer, and then you're like into it and like,
a lot of people think like all photographers do everything.
Yeah.
And I do offer headshots, just tossing that out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely you don't really see that on my Instagram. I'm
right.
sharing the babies.
Well, when when you make a relationship with you and you don't want to find another photographer, it makes sense. Like, hey, can you also help me with, or, to a new mom who may be going back to work or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So that's,
absolutely.
That's the homage to the relationship again. So yeah, for sure.
Cool. So now it's time for the Be Present Nugget of Wisdom. All right, so this is our little nugget of wisdom today. You're only here for a short visit. Don't hurry and don't worry. Be sure to smell the flowers along the way.
Ooh.
I think we're, dealing with a lot of heavy topics right now currently. Probably when you listen to this, it'll be a lot later, and I don't know how you'll feel probably into the holiday season, but it's a reminder to...
We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. I'm just kidding.
I mean, yeah.
Don't hurry and don't worry.
I love that.
I can.
This too shall pass. Yeah.
Yep. Goldfish. Be a goldfish. Yep. I feel that very much. That's a good one.
That is a really good one.
Especially to new moms.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hurry and don't worry. Because, mine are 19 and 24 now, and I blinked. So hold tight. Don't hurry and don't worry. Good one. That's a good one. Okay, Amanda, so tell us how to find you on all of the interwebs.
AmandaBarrettPhotography.com. It's the first place.
2 R's, 2 T's, right?
That's right. And thank you. And on the socials, it's at Amanda Barrett Photo. And or you can call me or email me, hello@AmandaBarrettPhotography.com. Yes. And 615-829-6578.
That's awesome. AmandaBarrettPhotography.com. Awesome. So if you're looking for a photographer who cares about you and your family, reach out to Amanda.
Yes.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
You've been a wonderful guest. And as we can say, see, it wasn't so bad.
No, it was wonderful.
Wonderful. Well, reach out to Amanda for your photography needs, and then we will see you all next week.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Locally Owned Murfreesboro, the podcast. New episodes every Wednesday on all your favorite podcast platforms. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Locally Owned Borough.